Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the much-anticipated sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife, which was the much-anticipated sequel to Ghostbusters 2. And, I'm going to be honest, I was kind of excited for this movie because it was a continuance of Afterlife. I loved Afterlife. It brought back the OGs, except for Rick Moranis, which is still a little disappointing that they can't, like, coax him out of his retirement. But, like, just make an appearance, just like a quick cameo. That's all I ask. But with all of these characters, I think they sometimes have a bit of an issue juggling all of them, especially since there are a few other new characters that are introduced in this as well. And each character is doing its own thing. Phoebe is trying to find herself and befriends a ghost, which is kind of weird at first, but then as the story progresses, it makes like a little bit more sense. You got Gary and Callie. You got the evolution of their relationship and how they're kind of acting like a married couple, and like she tells him like it's okay to yell at my kids, so that like gives the illusion that they're married, because who tells their boyfriend that it's okay to yell at your children? But that's never actually explained whether they are married or not. But then you have the older Ghostbusters, the OGs. Ray is doing his thing. Winston is doing his thing. Bill Murray just kind of shows up and bees Bill Murray. and eventually everything does intersect. But to get there, it's kind of slow. Oh, and William Atherton is back as Peck, the dickhead from the first movie who tried to shut the Ghostbusters down. And even though you can very easily go to the Wikipedia page and see what his new role is, well, he's Peck. But see what his role in the movie is exactly, but I'm not going to spoil it here. But it is great to see him back, and he is still amazing at playing a total douche. So it's great to see him back, but he's also doing his own thing. There's a lot going on. And again, it all does intersect in the end. It all comes to a culmination, but it just takes what seems like forever to get to the point. That being said, though, in general, overall, I did enjoy Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. While the story does take a while to get to its point and to get to the end point, there are aspects that are very enjoyable. And the new villain, I'm not going to say exactly what he is because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's got a very, 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 very interesting backstory, and we get a bit of that in the first scene of the movie, and there's actually a teeny tiny bit in the trailer as well that is shown. And then we get like a whole history lesson thanks to Patton Oswalt's character. But the only main issue I have with that is that once he finally does show up, it's over. It's over. Like, they beat him really quickly. But everyone does play to their roles very well. McKenna Grace was literally the perfect casting for Phoebe Spangler. It's like she studied Harold Ramis, because she has the Spangler mannerisms, like, down to a T. Paul Rudd is always great. He's Paul Rudd. And, you know, the OGs, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts, they're all great in their own ways. Especially Bill Murray, who literally just kind of shows up and is just Bill Murray, and it's awesome. The effects, too, overall, I think they're pretty good. There are a few moments where it's like, but in general, they're pretty well done, which makes me question why studios will spend so much money on one movie to look amazing, but then they won't spend money on another movie and it looks like shit. You shouldn't prioritize one movie over the other. If something is very effects heavy, you need to spend the money or the movie's going to look terrible, i.e. The Flash. But ultimately, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, you know, despite the issues it has juggling all of the characters that are in this, it is still a good movie. It's a great continuance of the franchise, and there's a mid-credit scene. It's not really much, but it definitely shows that there's probably going to be more, and I'm okay with that. I want more. I want to see more Ghostbusters. I love the Ghostbusters. I always have. I just kind of hope that when it does eventually continue, whether it be another movie or the rumored TV show that's supposed to be happening at some point, that they kind of learn their lesson of trying not to juggle so many characters at once and to have so many different plot points intersecting at once. But again, I overall did enjoy Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I'm going to give it a solid B.
Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get notified when more reviews go live. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie or show, and I will see you next time.